Hi everyone, welcome to the session. So in this session, what we will try to do is we will try to understand what are automations exactly, what are agentic AIs, and so on. And the goal for this lecture is by the end of this workshop, you will all have some idea on what an automation is, what an agent is, and you will also have used at least 3 to 4 different tools to automate at least few of your tasks, right? So that will be the main goal of the session today. So without any delay, I'll just start presenting my screen. First, I will go over a quick introduction about ourselves for a couple of minutes, and then I'll directly jump into the session today, which is automation with AI. So let me just share my screen. Okay. So the topic for today is how you can automate anything with AI, right? So these days we are seeing that AI models that we are using are very, very powerful, right? So, but many people are still limited to using AI within ChatGPT, right? So you're just using ChatGPT to write emails or maybe do some research work or something, but you're only limited to that particular interface. So once you jump out of ChatGPT and realize true capabilities of automation and AI, you can achieve 10 times or 50 times more than what you are able to do with ChatGPT, right? So today our idea is uh, to help you build a framework around automation and AI. And we will also we will start with some very simple automations like making presentations, making dashboards, and then we will jump to some complex automations like email automation. We will also learn about how you can automate your social media posting. We will cover some new tools like Panos AI, Perplexity, Comet, and so on. So this session is going to be very interesting with a lot of tool ideas and a lot of not just tools and prompts, but also a lot of conceptual understanding in terms of how they can help you automate your work. Right. So first of all, we will try to build some automations and we will try to start with a very simple automation first, which is PPT, right? So every one of us might have created a presentation at some point in our life. And creating PPT is also something that is very time taking. So let's say if I have an idea, so writing out an idea will take around half an hour, but making a good PPT for that will take 2 3 hours or even more, right? So I want to know how many of you don't like creating PPTs. Okay. How many of you don't like creating PPTs? Okay. We got few. Okay. Not at all. Okay. So for people who don't like creating PPTs, so this is going to be an amazing tool for you. And again, there are some paid tools, but I'm going to show you a completely free tool that you can use as much as you want to convert any idea you have into PPT within a matter of minutes. So let us try to understand how you can automate PPT creation with AI. So for that, I'm going to use a tool called Kimi AI. So it's called Kimi.ai. So you can also try this along with me. So this is the tool that I will be using. So this is called Kimi.com or Kimi AI. So it will go to the same link. So I'll send the link on the chat also if anyone wants to try it out. And so in this, what I need to do is I'll just click on Kimi slides. In this, you just need to mention what is the topic or idea that you want to create slides on. So for me, I do create a lot of I do a lot of lectures in any given week, and I also create a lot of proposals for companies for our courses and so on. So let's say this is one such proposal that I have. So with corporates, we also do a lot of training sessions. So any company that comes to us and says, we want to upskill our employees. So we create a plan for them and just give it right away. So what if this is, as you can see, this is a very plain Google document or PDF. This doesn't look very good, right? So if I want to impress people, I want to create better and more powerful presentations. So I'll just copy all the content that I have in this. And then I'll just paste it into this and I'll just give a prompt. So I'll just speak out my prompt, create a nice presentation for generative AI accelerator course. So this is the prompt that I'm typing. Create a nice presentation for this, and I've already given some information, right? So even if you just give a simple prompt, it will hallucinate some information. But since I already have a lot of details about my course, I'll just use this, and I'll just press enter. So here the slide creation happens in two steps. So the first step is creating the outline, right? The outline of the slide will be created in a matter of 2-3 minutes. So where it will take all the content that you give and it will create a slide layout. So once it creates a slide layout, you can give it a feedback on what you want to change, what you don't want to change. And if it's already looking good, you can directly export it. So two steps. So we are now at the first step where it is giving us the plan. So this will take a couple of seconds. So we can wait and see how the plan is turning out to be. So this generative AI accelerator course. So the course that I spoke about earlier was generative AI launchpad course. So this is an 8-week long course for individuals to get up shorter version, 3 to 4 weeks of course. So that is the plan I'm giving. So you see that the plan, it's almost ready. So it's also writing some introduction about me. Right. So once the slide layout is ready, I think it should be ready any moment now because we already see it's almost at the last step. Right. So now we have the slide layout ready. So you can see what will be the slide content in each slide. So you can just delete anything that you want. You can add anything you want. You can add additional slides, remove any information, or simply you can just ask AI to change something. Ask change slide the content to something else. So for now, I'm just not changing anything. I'll just keep it as it is because it looks good. The plan looks good. And the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the preset mode. Preset mode, there are two different modes. One mode is adaptive mode where it will create theme on the go. And the other thing is preset mode that it will create animations and outlines based on some themes. So let's say here I have a lot of themes to choose from. So I just feel this theme looks good for me. So I'll just click on this. And okay, this looks good to start with. We can change the theme anytime. So, but for now, I'll just choose this and generate slides. Right. So once I've clicked on generate slides, you can see that the slides are automatically created. As you can see, my hands are up. So I'm not doing anything. But Kimi will start creating a page layout. Right. So this agent, so this is an automation. This is a PPT agent that is inbuilt in Kimi. So based on our plan, it's automatically creating the entire plan from scratch. So we'll just have to wait it out, and we can also make some changes to it after it creates a plan that we can see. So it's creating nice layouts, proper aligned content. So that looks nice. So creating this proposal, let's say, has taken me 1-2 hours. So creating a nice PPT would have easily taken many more hours. But for now, since I'm using AI, I'm able to automate it very, very simply. So it's creating a week-wise plan, week 1, week 2, week 3, so that whenever I'm presenting it to anyone, so I will have some nice slides. So it's actually giving my name and theme as well. So that looks nice. Right. So you can see it has created almost 20 slides. So all I had to do is, again, within a matter of minutes, I just went from a simple idea to something like this, right? So now if I don't like a slide or if I want to change something, it's very easy because it might seem like it's printed there, but everything is movable, right? Everything is editable. You can change anything that you want. You can add one additional slide if you want. You can ask AI to make changes. You can go to the layout slide. You can go to the outline part, and you can also modify the plan, right? So content side, you have figured it out. And let's say now, once you created this, you have realized that, okay, this is not a wonderful theme. So if you want to change the theme, how you can do that? And just click on this and you say like, let's say, let me choose. Okay, this looks like a different theme. So I will want to try this. I'll select this theme and replace. So you see that the theme is also changed immediately. So this also looks like, so there are few alignment issues here and there, but you can just go and edit it out very easily, right? So once you are done with this, again, it has created nice 20 slides from scratch. To download it, you can download it as a PPT, you can download it as a image or something. So I want to download it as a PPT, so I'll download it. Then I can upload it on my Google Slides, so I'm done with it. So whoever mentioned that they don't like creating slides, so this is an amazing tool for them. So all you have to do is copy paste your idea and you can just convert this into very quickly. There is a question about, so this is a completely free tool as of now. Again, we don't know whether when they will start charging, but for now, I have used it a lot. I have created tens of presentations without paying a single penny. You just do a Google login and you can use it for free. And yeah, so for people who are asking about customized templates, so there whenever you are creating, there is also an option for adaptive themes so that you can create as well. Okay, so this is how you can automate uh, slide creation using this slide agent which is embedded within Kimi AI. So now let us try to go to another use case, which is slightly more complicated, right? So we have seen one simple use case here. So now let's say I want to go to another step where I want to automate something like my email, right? So let's say in this session, I I have more than 100 people attending right now, and I want to send them a personalized email one by one, right? And even if I spend 5 minutes per personalized email, it will take me 500 minutes or maybe close to 10 hours. 10 hours, I'll spend like 1, 2 hours on every day on this. So it will easily take me 1 week to send personalized emails. So what if instead of taking 1 week of time, I can do this within 130 minutes? So that is the email automation that we are talking about. I'll quickly show you a demo of what we will build, and then I will show you step-by-step process on how I have done that. Right. So I'll take some questions after I explain this. So if you have any questions regarding the slides part or the upcoming part, just keep sending questions on the chat. I'll revisit it in some time. So let's say this is the sheet of the people who have applied for our course or maybe who has attended our sessions before. Again, you can see there are many, many people. Now, let's say what if there is a new person applying? So let's say 63 number. So I'll just choose the name of the person who has commented last. So I'll just pause my video because there is some lag in internet. So I'll just pause it for a while and come back. Okay. So now let us try to understand how we can, let me take the comment that last person has made. So let's say we can say Aman. So let's say Aman is a senior engineer at Oracle. And I want to send Aman a personalized message about how our course can help Aman, right? And depending on what position he is, which company he is, I want to send a customized email, right? Customized email will help me get a lot more response. So for that, I have already created one automation on make.com. So I'll go to that automation that I have created. Okay. So in this, I can just see all the automations I have created before in scenarios. So don't worry, I'll just explain how this will happen shortly, but I'm just showing you how this works in the beginning. So let's say this person has applied on the website. Now I want to write a personalized email. So instead of writing it by hand, I'll just run this automation. Now I'll go back and magically you can see that the email is appearing, right? So hi Aman, as a senior engineer at Oracle, you already possess something. So it's giving, so it's not writing any cookie cutter email about everything. So depending on who is applying and how they are applying, we are able to automate this from scratch. So how do we build an automation like this, right? How can you build automation like this? And this is a simple automation, but how you can integrate it with other tools like WhatsApp, Slack, and other things that I will cover shortly. But before that, since this is slightly more complicated, again, this was very easy. This was level, anyone who could use ChatGPT could use it, but this will take slightly more effort. But to understand how many of you are comfortable with something, I just want to do a quick poll to understand the audience we have today. So I'll just quickly bring up some questions on your screen. If you can help us with who you are and what you do, that will help us give you better explanations based on the majority of people. So it's important if you answer the poll quickly, we can move to the questions and get to the session quicker. So the first question is what describes you the best? So are you a student? Are you a working professional with less than 5 years of experience or greater than 5 years of experience? Okay, we see good number of people, almost 87, 60, 70% of people are from zero greater than 5 years of experience. We have few students, we have a good proportion of them are working professionals. Okay. So that's amazing. So almost 75% of people have responded to the poll already. I think that's a good participation. So that will call for a new tool to be introduced. So I will keep that in mind. So I'll just wait for 10 more seconds for everyone else to respond. So if you have not responded to the poll already, if you can just quickly respond, that will help us give an understanding of who you are. Okay, great. So let me just end the poll right now and show you the results. So you can see this is the results of the poll that we have. A good proportion, like we have a very small percentage of students, but a good chunk of people are from working professionals greater than 5 years, and few of them are 0 to 5 years of experience. Okay, so let me ask one more question about the coding experience. So what, so how comfortable are you with coding? So are you someone who has never coded in life? Are you someone who is intermediate at coding? Intermediate means you have coded at some or the other point in your life, or you know basics of programming. That is intermediate. If you are someone who uses code in your daily life, maybe daily job, you can go with the option three. Okay, we have very active participation. Around 63% of people have responded within 35 seconds. So I'm waiting till the poll numbers reach at least 85. So I'll give 15 more seconds for that. So if you have not answered, you can just mention it on this. So we have almost 95% of people who are not coding experts essentially. So I get the thing, right? So many people think that generative AI is only for people who can code. But in today's session, you will realize that even if you don't know how to code, you will be able to build a lot of amazing automations, lot of amazing tools that will help you make your life a lot easier. Okay, so let me end the poll because a good number of people have already answered. So I'll share the results. As you can see, 90-95% of the people are coming from no coding background. Very few of them are coding experts, right? So let me ask one more question, and this question will only stay for 20 seconds. So you just answer as quickly as you can so that we can proceed to the lecture part as well. So what do you do? So are you a software engineer? Are you a product manager, data scientist, senior executive, founder, student, or others? So if you belong to others category, you can also help us with what is the others category. Are you a marketer? Are you a content writer? Are you something else that we didn't include? Okay, we have a lot of people from marketing and sales. I think uh, from the next session, we will also add a marketing and sales tab in this so that we are inclusive of all of the people. Okay, great. We have many different job roles as well. Right. So this poll, I'm going to end it quickly because it will only stay for some time. Okay, you can also see the results. We have good number of people, almost 50% of them are others category. I think few of them already mentioned. But we also have good number of product managers, senior executives, founders, and so on. So this is what I generally like about AI, right? So you don't have to belong to a certain category. You don't have to be a developer. You don't have to be a founder. You don't have to be something to leverage. So irrespective of whatever job you have, right, you can still leverage generative AI completely, right? So even in this session, we have students, we have product managers, executives, software engineers, and so on. So we are all coming together to learn this amazing technology. That is what I really like about it. Okay, so let me go to the next part. Let me actually explain you. So now that I have a context of the kind of people that we have in the audience today, let me tune some explanations towards that. So first of all, let me explain this automation, right? So this automation was very simple. I just typed a name and I just ran the automation and I'm able to do that. So what used to take 1 week of time in terms of writing 100 emails, I'm able to do it within a matter of few minutes. And in this, setting up an automation will take 10 minutes, and maybe tuning it will be taking 10 minutes, and just running it might take other 10. That's it. And with practice, instead of taking 30 minutes, you can actually do it within 5 minutes also. So that is also totally possible. So before uh, before that, I think I'll just jump to the explanation right now. So before we understand this part, let me tell about the automation that we are doing with AI. So we have been using traditional automation for many, many decades. As long as, let's say, ChatGPT, as long as internet has been around, we have been doing some sort of automation. Some automation like you have, let's say, some of you might have seen our ad, right? After seeing the ad, you have registered for the event, and then you got a WhatsApp message, then you got some link. Then once you join, you will get a certificate or something. So this is the automation that I have created. Show the ad, then they register, then send the mail, then do this, then do that, then do this. Right. So traditional automation, we have been doing it for many years now. But the problem with this automation is that it's always rule based. If you can define it, then only you can automate it. You can say, if this happens, then do that. If that happens, then do this, right? So this will also give a lot of limitation on what you can automate, right? Only straightforward tasks can be automated. Anything that is more complex or has nuance cannot be automated. But that is not the case with generative AI, right? So here I was able to automate personalized emails, right? Earlier with traditional automation, I might have two, three templates that I can just keep revolving. But here, if there are 100 people applying, I can write 100 personalized emails in the same time, right? In no additional time. I don't need to take any additional time. 100 people, I can write 100 emails. 1,000 people, I can write 1,000 emails. So one benefit of this is that this automation can learn automatically. It will intelligently adapt. So if it's a senior engineer from Oracle, it will respond in a certain way. If it's a chief marketing officer of a big startup, it will respond in a certain way and it will dynamically solve problems. And all you have to do is just give some simple natural language instructions. So natural language instructions, as in you can just say keep the email short, keep the say thank you at the end, and few other things you can just give it by simple prompts. So now that you know of what generative AI and automation could do, let us try to understand the very automation that we have built here right now. So let me run one more example, and then you will get some idea of this. So again, let me take the name of the person who has commented at last and show you one more time what is happening in this automation, and I'll explain it to you one by one. So let's say the last person to comment his part. Okay. Now let me just give a role saying you are a product manager. Let's say I can say that you are a product manager at a company called, let's say, Misho. And now I want to create a email for you, personalized email. So I'll run this automation. So now look at what is happening in each part. So part one, so there are three parts to this automation: one, two, and three. So what is each part doing? First part is going to see that, okay, there is a new person called Parth who has registered. So this is the first part. The second part is there is a new person. So ChatGPT will look at that and it will write an email for that person. And ChatGPT, once it writes the email, it will send it back to the Excel sheet. So once I run this automation, I'll be able to see a new email written here. So let me run this, and you can see what is happening. This is the first step. Then the second step, GPT is writing the email. So once the GPT has completed writing email and it has put it back into this. So if I go back, you can see this is what is happening. So I just entered the name and now I have the full-fledged email written right now. Right. So this is how simple it is uh, to understand how it's working. This three steps. So now let us try to build this from scratch. Right. Again, you can follow and do it along with me, but I'm not going to stop right now because again there will be too many people, too many doubts. So if you want to follow along, you can follow along, and after you look at the recording you can do it once more. But if you want to, or maybe first I will ask you to focus on understanding how I'm doing it. You can anyways watch the recording later and try it yourself. So focus more on the explanation, and I will go very slow with the explanation and I will explain it only once, right? So, so listen carefully. I'm already repeating, so I'll repeat it only once, but I'll go very slow. So try to pay attention. And again, only once because we have a lot more things to cover. So I'll just give one explanation very soon, and then we will come back to it. Okay. So now with our automation that we have built, there are three steps. So step one, step two, and step three. Step one is to get the inputs from the Excel sheet. So for that, what I will do is I'll just click on this and I will add a Google Sheet node. And in Google Sheet, what is the first function that I want? The first thing is I want to watch new rows in the Excel sheet. So I'll just say, this is the Excel sheet I'm working on and I'm watching the new rows. So the function is set up, but which row to watch? So I might have hundreds of Google Sheets, right? So which sheet should I exactly watch? So I have already connected my Google Drive account with this. So if you're using it for the first time, you can click on add and connect your Google account. So since I have connected my Google account, now it has access to my Drive also. So I'll just type the name of the file that I have. So this is the name of the file that I have, which is called outbound sales. So now I'm going to select which sheet my data is lying. So there are three sheets here. My data is in sheet 2. So I'll click on sheet 2. And okay, rest I will just keep it same. I'll just choose all and save. So this is the first step. So first step is very simple. Just link it to just create a sheets node and link it to your account. Just opening it and just mention which sheet you want. As simple as that. So this can be done within a minute. So now comes an important part. So the important part is here, as you can see here for this person who is a product manager. So we are writing a personalized email. So the personalized email says addresses by them by their name, and they will also say that you are a valuable asset for me show as your role at product manager. So it's writing a personalized email. So how can it be? Uh, how can you do that? So now you can click on this, and now you need to send the new name, the new role, and new person to ChatGPT. So I'll just click on this, and I'll just say, I'll just choose OpenAI. And within OpenAI, again, there are a lot of things that you can build automations on. But one thing that you need to choose is create a completion. So this is the automation that you are interested in. So this is what I'll click on. In this, now you can choose which model you want to choose. So the model that I want to choose, again, there are a lot of models within OpenAI. So I'll just choose GPT 4.1. And again, you can choose GPT 5, you can choose anything that you want, but I am just choosing GPT 4.1 model. Now, the idea is, let's say if I want to send a mail to Parth, who is a product manager at Misho, if I want to do in ChatGPT, how would I do it? I'll go to ChatGPT. I can just, let's say, choose any model that I want. So this is the name of the person, right? So, so I'll just say this is the name of the person. This is the company they are in. This is the role they are in. So to write a personalized email, how can I ask ChatGPT to write? So I'll just give a prompt by dictating. My name is Satvik. I am the founder of Build Fast with AI. The following person has registered for a free workshop. Send them a personalized email talking about our 8 week long generative AI launchpad course. Right. So I'm telling it, my name is Satvik. I'm founder. So I'm saying the following person has registered for a free workshop. Send them a personalized email talking about our this thing. So I can take free workshop on AI automation. So I can just say, keep the email short and end it with a thank you note for attending session. So let's say this is the prompt I generally write to ChatGPT, and I can create this email. So now the point is, I don't want to write a lot of emails, right? Even copy pasting every detail like this within ChatGPT will also take a lot of time. So what if I can automate this process? So I will copy this prompt that I have written to create an email. I'll go back to this one. And in this, I will send a prompt. So what is the prompt that I will send? So this will be the same prompt that I will send. So now you can see this is the prompt that I'm sending to the uh, OpenAI model. So I don't want to send email to Parth every time. So I want to send name. The name should be to the about the person who is applying newly, right? So I'll just remove this. I'll just remove the role. I'll just remove this one. So now this has to be the name, role, and company has to be dynamic, right? So when someone from Oracle is applying, Oracle should be here. When someone from Flipkart is applying, the name should be Flipkart and the name should be different. So what I can do is, so I can fetch the name from the sheet. So I'll just copy, drag and drop the name. I'll just copy paste the position. I'll just copy paste the email. So what happens is whenever a new person applies, so we are not using the same name, we are using the new name, new position, and new outreach mail. And it's like we are sending a new prompt to ChatGPT every time, depending on whoever has come. I'll just press save. So the second step is also done. So now the third step and the last step that we need to do is, okay, ChatGPT is giving us a response, but that response has to be stored somewhere, right? So I want to store it somewhere. So where can I store? I can just store it back in the same Excel sheet. So I'll just click on this and I'll just put it back into the sheet. So I'll just click on Google Sheets. And in this, I'll choose add a row. And I want to choose which sheet to add. So I'm working on one sheet. I want to add details into the same sheet again. So I'll just choose the same sheet. So click which file I want to choose. So this is again the sales sheet I have. And what is the sheet? Sheet is 2. And now this is the interesting part. So now let's say you can see the new sheet. So where is the new email being pasted? So whenever there is a new person applying, there is column E. So the chat GPT's response is copy pasted in column E. So I want to copy paste the chat GPT's output into column E. So I'll just go back and I'll just choose column E. In column E, what I'll do is I'll copy paste the result of ChatGPT and I will just save it. Done. My automation is done. So now whenever anyone new applies, okay, again, let me choose the name of the person who has sent the last comment. Let's say Vineet. So Vineet, let's say, is a PhD researcher at, let's say, IIT Delhi. So now I want to send them a personalized email. So what can I do? I can just send. I'm just running this automation. And you can see the first step, it's looking at the inputs, it's creating an email and putting it back. You can see that as a PhD researcher at IIT Delhi, you are undoubtedly familiar and so on. So this way, I can create personalized emails to anyone just in few steps. So now you might ask me, this is not a complete automation. So this is just copy pasting the sheet here, right? So how can I link it with my Gmail? How can I link it with my Slack and many other things? So I will again linking with Slack, linking with other things. It's not very complicated, but it's just requires some more idea on how to do it. I'll show you a very quick way on how you can do it. But if you want, again, in this course, in this lecture, we want to cover more things, so we will not have time. So for more detailed explanations, for learning more different types of automations, we cover a lot more automations in our generative AI launchpad course. So where we spend one entire week. So fourth week of our generative AI course is entirely about automations. So where you will learn tens of different automations that can be built from scratch. But for now, I'll just give you a quick overview of how you can connect your Google Sheets with Gmail, Slack, and other things. So for this, I'll add something called a router. In this router, I can say that whenever there is a new email coming, so whenever there is a new person applying, I can add it to my Gmail. I can just say create a draft whenever there is. So I can configure this later. But yeah, you can just say, I also want to get a message on my Slack. Get a private channel message. So again, you can do a connection for it easily, but you can see this. So whenever anyone is registering on my website, I am creating a new email, sending them an email on Slack, sorry, sending them a Gmail account, Gmail, and then I'm sending a message to myself on Slack. So let's say if you also want to, uh, let's say do something else, you also want to post on Discord or maybe any other thing. So you can just directly connect it. So that way you can create any automation like this where you can just go from start to end just by clicking few buttons. So this is a overall idea of how you can create this from scratch. Similarly, I have chosen Discord, Slack, and everything. Similarly, you can choose WhatsApp, but configuration is slightly different. So that is slightly out of scope for today's lecture. But yeah, we will cover a lot more automations like this in our course. If anyone is interested, we will cover about some amazing offers about the course shortly. Okay, so this is the automation that you can actually build from scratch, where here Google Sheets is the main thing, but you can also choose some other things. If you have another CRM tool, or maybe if you have your own database, you can just connect your databases to GPT accounts and build some cool automations. So this is the automation part that I wanted to cover, where you can build some simple automations just by connecting few nodes. So if anyone has any questions on this, you can just send it on the chat. I'll take two, three questions before I proceed to the next part. So first of all, what is router node? That is the question. So router node is basically when your automation has to do a bunch of different things at once. So let's say if someone is applying on my website, I can get a mail. At the same time, I also want to get a Slack message. So when you want your automation to do different things at once, so you will add a router node so that whenever something is happening, three of the nodes will get triggered. This is a free tool, so you can actually connect, do up to 1,000 automations for free every month. So beyond that, if you are using, you will have to pay. But again, it's considerably cheap to use. So what is difference between make.com? So make.com and n8n, again, all of them are automation platforms, but slightly different form factor. So I'll talk about n8n shortly. So where I'll show you the difference also as to where the main difference between make.com and this is. Okay. So now let me show you the next part of the automation, which is slightly agentic automation. So till now, what we have done is we have done simple automation, right? So we have taken a topic, we have converted that into PPT, we have taken emails and converted into this. So now let's say I want to create more, slightly more complex automations. How can I do it, right? So for that, let us try to understand how research is being done, right? So let's say here we have understood how you can take a simple AI automation and build it. Now let's say I want to do some advanced market research and I want to build an agent for it. How can I build it? Right. So let me show you one example on how we can do advanced market research using advanced agents. So for this, I'm going to use a tool called Grok. Grok is a company by XAI, which is again owned by Elon Musk. So it's a relatively new company at only 1 2 years old, but it's also doing, it's punching above all the major models. So these models are better than OpenAI in many respects. So we are going to use this latest Grok tool to do some advanced AI research. So advanced AI research, I want to do on a certain, let's say I'm launching my own startup. I'm launching my shoe startup, shoe startup and I want to do some market research on who will purchase my shoes, either who are my competitors, and I want to do a bunch of research around that. So how can I do this advanced market research using AI tool? So what I'll do is I'll just go to Grok. Within Grok, what I will do is I'll just copy paste whatever research I want to do. So I have already created one prompt for myself. So this is the prompt that I'm going to use. So your agents or your AI tools are only as good as your prompt is. If you write a very bad prompt, the output might also be very bad, right? So writing a good prompt is always going to help you understand better. So I can just copy this and I can just paste it here. So I will also paste this prompt on the chat if anyone wants to do their own research using Grok. And again, this is a free tool as well. So we will try to focus on a lot more on free tools. So this is also free to use. So you can go and use it now for free. And in this, I will mention what project I am working on. Indian handcrafted leather shoes for, as also mentioned, for 10,000 rupees. So my shoes are worth 10,000 rupees. And I want to do a research on the age, gender, income level and where will these people purchase, their purchasing habits and other things. And I can also add one other thing, do the competitor analysis also and give a table. So now if I just ask the model like this, so it's going to, let's say, not give a great answer. So for this, what we will try to do is, let's say once I copy pasted this, instead of sending the prompt directly, I'm going to click on something called deep search. So I'll just click on deep search. So when I say deep search, instead of directly giving you the answer, this model will actually go to hundreds of different websites. It will research on all the topics and it will come back to us with good results. So let me show you how this works. So I'm running this prompt. So whenever I run this prompt, instead of directly giving me the answer, you can see that this model is actually going to uh, create a nice plan on how to analyze this from start. And it will, instead of giving you a response within a minute, It will take some time, around few minutes or so. It will read as we speak. It's already looking at, it has already read 30 websites, and it's still doing more. So yeah, so it has read few websites already, around 40, 50 websites. Now you can see it's also browsing a particular website. So it says Qro.in. So this is a famous Indian brand that is recently popping up. So you can see that it has gone to its website. It's reading their Instagram page and few other things. So imagine how much time would it have taken for you to do a research. So let's say if you want to do a research on a particular company or a particular sector, reading 100 websites, summarizing the insights, putting them into a report like this will easily take you 1 2 weeks of time, but you can do that within a matter of 5 minutes using this AI agent. So you can see that it has done the research. The research it has done for 1 minute. So you might ask me, okay, 1 minute, nothing happens in 1 minute. But you can see this is a very powerful agent. It has already read hundreds of websites within 1 minute. So that is the power of AI agents. So you can just see that how this is happening. So you can see it's still typing the report. So it's including all the parts. So I wanted to get an analysis on demographics. So it gave some research on that, psychographics, purchasing habits, key challenges, pain points. And now it's also writing a detailed report. You can see it's still typing. So this way, I think we can just wait for 1 more minute to see the final. Okay. I also asked it to create some tables, right? So you can see that I asked it to give competitor analysis in a table. So it's also creating a nice table for us to see. What is happening? So earlier, when we actually look at the AI agent, so we have looked at this market research agent, right? So, but how is this agent working? So this agent is working. So this is how the agent is working, right? So I give it a question to do market research, and this AI agent. So let's say in our case, the Grok model is actually deciding a plan. So it's, as you can see here, you can see it's deciding a plan for itself. So it says that it's deciding the plan, and then it's accessing internet, it's accessing few tools, it's accessing some tools it has, and then it's reading the website. So it's reading all the websites, getting the information and passing it back to the model. So this is happening in loop, right? So you ask the question, it's going to a website, search results, get you the information, and going back and forth. So this is how the agent is working. So and a large language model is using different tools to fetch you the results and get you the output. So this is how our agent is working. So now let us try to learn how to create this agent using NA10, right? Again, you can create this agent within code also, but currently we want to understand how we can build things without code. So that is what I'll show you using NA10. So for that, you can go to this website called na10.io, and you can sign in. So I'll just do my sign in. You can see I have some automations created already. So I'll just try to show you how you can create a research automation using NA10. So this is slightly similar to make.com, but this has different form factor and different features, right? More or less, this is very similar to make.com, but this is slightly more, it has slight more agentic features. So let me show you what I mean. So I'll just create a, just like we created a scenario in make.com, we can create a workflow within NA10. In this workflow, again, you see that when you start with the workflow, you don't see anything. You will just see a plain page. So first of all, what we need to do in our automation, as you can see, so this is the first part should be the user input. A user should be able to give a prompt to an agent. So first we will try to understand where should we input, right? So first we will create an input field so that a user can type a message to AI. So for that I'll click on this, and you can say it's already available. It's called on chat message. So I'll click on this, and you don't need to do any settings. So I'm just saying back. So this is the first node that we need to build, where this will help us and give input to the agent. So if I click on this, so this is where I can type inputs to the AI model. So now what happens is, this is the chatbot I have created. So if I send hi to this chatbot, you can see that there is no session output. I'm not getting any output in this. It's just giving some vague response saying that if I say hi, it's also saying hi. So it's not giving any output, right? The reason is because it's not connected to any AI model, right? Just like we connected our make.com to GPT model. So how can we connect our chat bot to AI model? So first of all, we want to create an agent, right? So we want to create an agent that looks something like this. So for that, I'll click on this. And N8N has a lot of configurations for agents. So let me type agent, and I'll choose the first option, which is AI agent. So I'll just click on this, and I'll just keep the standard settings. So I'll just go back. So you can see that whenever I type a chat message, it goes to an AI agent. But any AI agent should have these components, right? Any agent should be connected to a LLM. It can be connected to Grok, OpenAI model, or anything, right? So let me clear this. So let's say in our chatbot, what we have created is we have attached this input message. So now we want to connect it to a model. So which model should we give the task of researching? So I'll just click on chat model, and I'll choose which model I'm going to use for research. So I'm going to use an OpenAI model for now. So I'll just type OpenAI chat. So I'll just choose this. And you can choose which model you want. Again, just like within chat gpt, you can choose different models in drop down. So I can also choose different models from drop down. So I'll just scroll and see what all models I have. So I'll just choose this model, GPT 4.1, or anything. I can choose the latest model also, but for now I'll just choose this model. So I have chosen the model, and I'll click on back. So now you can see what will happen. Now I can just open chat. So now earlier when I said hi, nothing happened. Now if I just send hi again, now let us see what will hello, hi, who are you? So you can see what will happen to this node also. When the message is being sent, you can see the automation that is happening inside. So I'm sending this message. You can see OpenAI model is working, and it's saying, hello, I am ChatGPT. So we have created a ChatGPT chatbot just by creating one drag and drop button. So you drag and drop message, you drag and drop model, and we have a chatbot that is ready to use. That is as simple. So now what we want to do is, one thing that our agent is doing here is it's able to search internet, right? So this deep research agent that we have used is able to search internet. It's going to different websites and read this. But you see that the current web automation, or maybe the current agent that we have created, cannot search internet, right? Cannot search internet. And whenever you are using a GPT model, they only know till their training date. So let's say GPT-4 models, GPT 4.1, GPT-4 models, they have a training cutoff date of October 2023, 24 sometimes. So these models, they don't know anything that has happened after October 2023 or something. But if I want to do a market research, it should have latest information. So just to check whether it's connected or not, I'll just ask it what is today. What is today? Because this is language model does not know, it's not connected to internet, it does not know what is today. So I'll just ask and check how much this model knows. So this model only knows till June 23, 2024. So today it's certainly September 28, 2025. So this model is outdated, right? So how can I use an outdated model to do research, right? Research is about searching latest trends, latest information. So this is not going to work for me. So now this is where tools come into place. So in tools, I can just add a web search tool. So whenever I ask about some latest details, AI should be able to use the internet and get some details. Right. So how can we use that? So how can we add a tool on top of this? Right. So now what I'll do is, so since my AI model only knows up to October 20, let's say it's saying only June 2024. So what I will do is, uh, I will just ask it to, I'll just connect it to internet so that it can fetch the latest time, latest details from that. So in this, I'll click on the tool and I'll say which tool I want to use. So the tool that I want to use is called Google Search. Okay, spelling is wrong. So let me say Google Search. So this is the Google Search tool I'm adding. I'll just click on this. I already have this configured, so I'll just go back. So now what I'll do is I'll just ask it again, what is today? What is today's date? So you can see that it is still doing, it's still telling us the old date because you see that this node is not being used. So what I can do is I can tell my agent, I can tell my model to use search and fetch the latest date. So let me say, what is today's date? Today's date. I can just say use search. So earlier this was not being used. So now it will search internet to fetch today's latest date. So let me see if it works. So you can see now search is also being used. So now it says the correct date. Today is Sunday, September 28th. Right. So this way you have given access to internet to this model. So now since you have given access to internet to this model, you can just ask it any question. You can whatever research question that you have to in this one, you can just copy paste it. You can just copy paste it within this, and now the AI model will use the open AI model. It will use the Google search multiple times to get the answer, right? As simple as that. So I'll run this in while. But now we want to store the chat message, right? So let's say if I go to Grok and if I refresh the page also, I'm able to see because the memory is being stored somewhere, right? Even after I research, the agent still has memory of what I did. But that won't happen when I'm using N8N because once I refresh it, the data is gone. So what I need to do is I need to add memory also. So I'll just click on memory and I'll just, for now, let us leave all these, but I'll just say use simple memory back. So you can see that this is a simple agent that we have created. So this AI agent uses OpenAI model. It stores all the messages in N8N's memory, and it has access to internet. So this is how you can build a internet search agent or a research agent using N8N. So now one other thing is that uh, so this is an agent that you can just use it, and you can add some more tools also. Let's say apart from Google search, you also want your agent to search in a Google sheet. So you can just click on this and you can just add a Google sheet. So you can just like we have configured in that, you can also configure your Google account here, and you can connect it to a Google sheet also. So your AI agent can look into your Google Sheets. So you can ask a question like, go to my sheet and find sales numbers of this person in this month, and search the latest trends on, let's say, Google search. So let's say I'll say find latest sales of uh, person ABC from the sheet and do market research on, let's say, uh, standard conversion metrics. So what this will do is this agent will look into the sheet, it will look into the Google search, it will use the model, it will store the memory. So that is how you can create. So now this is how you can create any N8N automation just by using this, right? So now how to deploy this. So now that you have created this, how can you deploy? So you can just deploy it simply as an API, but how to deploy exactly start to end, it's something that, again, we don't have enough time for this right now, but you can certainly Google and see how you can do this. But this is something that we cover in our course, where we cover details on how to deploy an n8n agent also. So this is how you can create a n8n agent. So thank you all for joining in. Hope you have enjoyed today's lecture and learned something new. Hope to see you all in our upcoming course and continue this learning together. Bye bye and have a great Sunday.